Good morning, everyone. I will just check my audio. Okay, I can hear myself. Today I'm gonna read only, or I'm gonna present also the social studies major. This is not a PowerPoint. This is just a Word, Microsoft Word. Anyway, I'm not good in pronunciation and I'm not perfect in talking English, but I'm just doing this. This is for licensure examination or exam for teachers. For board licensure examination for professional teacher. That's it. Okay, number one. What is are possible effects of human interactions on individuals in society? One, determine their action. Two, constrain their behavior. Three, no effect. The answer is I. The choices: A, two only. B, one only. C, three only. D, one and two. The answer is letter D, one and two. The possible effects of human interactions on individuals in society kay kanang determine their action or constrain their behavior. Number two, who is the recognized father of sociology? The answer is Auguste Comte. Pero ang nakasulat siya kay Auguste Comte. Ang pagbasa daw anak kay Auguste Comte. Problema na na. Kung saan pagbasa, basta mo na siya spelling. For which are the state policies on equal access to opportunities for public service and prohibition of political dynasties and strengthening the merit and reward system intended? The answer is to uphold the quality of public service. What is a group? A group. Kauwi ba? What is a group of businesses and industries that gets a monopoly of goods and resources in a specific market or sector? The answer is cartel. For Max Weber's idea about status cultures, how can the establishment of religious schools for children of Hispanic, mixed Hispanic, and well to do natives to be characterized? The answer is sectarian education. 6. Which type of map illustrates the physical contour of an area? The answer is topographic map. 7. In rearing the youth of civic efficacy and development or moral character, the Constitution states that it shall receive support from the government. What is the law that set a full free trade policy abolishing the quotas limitations on the Philippine exports to the United States? The answer is Underwood-Simons Act. The most important is affecting all the chemical weathering processes is Turo na ako. The most important that is affecting all the chemical weathering processes is climate. The most important that is affecting all the chemical weathering processes climate. For Marx, what is the classification of slums dwellers who lead marginalized, often criminal lives? Lumpen, lumpen proletariat. Lumpen proletariat. How can integration be best achieved during the step of introducing a new lessons to be learned? How can integration be best achieved during the step of introducing new lessons to be learned? The answer is relate topic to past experiences. What kind of study examines specific subpopulations such as those who played a part at a revolt in order to understand how their attitudes have changed? Cohort study. The kind of study examines specific subpopulations, such as those who played a part at the revolt, in order to understand how their attitudes have changed. Cohort study. In observing students as part of evaluation outside of test, the teacher needs to be blank, objective to be fair and accurate in assessing students. What is the role played by assessment that determines the extent objectives of learning were met? Summative. The role played by assessment that determines the extent objectives of learning were met. Summative. What essential power of the state may be exercised by public service corporations? Eminent domain. What kind of prejudice has been accepted in the Philippines by inclusion of the Muslim holidays, which gain national respect aside from Catholic holidays like Christmas, Lenten seasons, and etc.? Religious intolerance. Preferential attention to the welfare of the less fortunate in the society is the legitimate goal of the anti-poverty programs. Effective teaching requires that teachers must be able to integrate knowledge from several disciplines. That what do teachers need to be equipped with? Strong knowledge on pedagogical approach, to which is stratification mostly related. The answer is social differentiation. Would you like to research you would like to research on academic problems set by indigenous peoples children in your school. Which sampling will you use? Stratified sampling. Which of the following has traditional authority as defined by Max Weber? The answer is King Louis XIV. Who among the early civilizations set the great educational goal to develop the individual man to think and act? Greece. How man can achieve the highest form of institutionalized social life? Through culture. Prisoners from city jail nationwide are complaining about the detention room that they are occupying. They feel that they deserve better facilities. What does the Philippine Constitution prescribe regarding penal facilities? Penal, penal facilities not under subhuman conditions. For Herbert Spencer, this is not among cultural values eliminated by industrialized societies. A. Kinship. B. Self-dom. C. Castes. D. Slavery. The answer is castes. For Herbert Spencer, this is not among the cultural values eliminated by individualized societies. Castes. Which is true about APEC. The answer is it is meant to facilitate trading among North America, Oceania, and Asia. People living in highly elevated areas have a higher tendency of drinking, smoking, and even eating domestic animals such as dogs. What factor affects these cultures? The answer is environment. Located within Pacific Plate, the Philippines is prone to volcanic eruptions, with which are the words Uncle Sam, superpowers, and Coca-Cola associated. United States. Which type of map illustrates the physical contour of an area? The answer is topographic map. Ulit siya. The late President Ferdinand Marcos placed the Philippines under the state of martial law through which of the following laws? The answer is Proclamation 1081. Student B is driving to a place the location of which he does not know, which can help him best. Ways. Search na akong ways sa meaning pa. Nagbasa pero kabalawan sa ibasa. Talk you to everybody cause I know I love to dance. Ways map tayo na siya. Voice navigation dash. Okay. Road map direction. Then, to be able to save the environment and make a difference, what can we do as Filipino citizens? The answer is when you are outside, pick up your rubbish and teach your kids that just as they do not litter at home, they should act the same in our global home, which illustrates content based instruction. Teacher Jenny Blanc make use of an interactive teaching technique to present a history lesson. Under the Constitution, in case of the president and the vice president's death, who shall act as the president? The answer is Senate, Senate President, Senate, Senate President. As the principle of taxation states, your contribution will go back to you in the form of services from your government. Which of the following is supported by the Constitution in utilizing the taxes of the people? The answer is taxes are used to construct churches and mosques. You have a building which you leased to another person who uses it for charitable purposes. What are your responsibilities as lessor and lessee with regard to taxation? You are not exempted from tax, while the one who leases it is exempted. As the composition of the older people in the population increases, per capita real income tends to decrease because the proportion of the productive group of the total population decreases. What has been established to provide Muslim communities greater share of development? The answer is autonomous region, which will legally serve as a shadow government to fiscalize the ruling democratic administration. The answer is opposition party, which will legal serve as a shadow government to fiscalize the rule democratic administration? The answer is opposition party. It is an approach that makes students think about the thinking. Students get conscious of their thoughts processes while they are engaged in their cognitive tasks. This is an example of our approach called metacognitive thinking about thinking. Far from the central government, what is the only region in the Philippines that has its own government as decided by its people? ARMM. Here is an essay test for the finals given by a teacher to his class. Write everything that you learn from this course. What's wrong with the test item? 1. It is too broad. 2. It does not show how scoring will be done. 3. It is very open-minded. The answer is D. 1, 2, and 3. It is too broad. It does not show how scoring will be done. It is very open-minded. I got it. To teach students to be less competitive, which approach should be used more? The answer is collaborative. Does Congress have the sole power to declare the existence of war? Yes. Does the Congress have the sole power to declare the existence of war? The answer is yes. Which was claimed to be the most tangible symbol of the Cold War? Berlin Wall. Alcaldía Pacified, Corregimientos Unpacified, Trade Center, Ayuntamiento, Town Center, Cabeceras, Town, Pueblo, Tax on Product, Bandala. Which one is which is one reason given by the Duterte administration for the proposed change to federal form of government? The answer is for local governments to get a greater share in revenue. At what stage in the Philippines today following Herbert Spencer's ideas about societies evolving forward, backsliding a time? The answer is industrial, which demonstrates interconnectedness between social and environmental injustice. The answer is highly industrialized countries toxic waste disposed to poorer countries. 5. Arrange the following events in the Philippine history in chronological order. 1. Philippines was under the Japanese occupation. 2. The Philippines was under American in the form of a Commonwealth. 3. The Commonwealth period was interrupted by World War II. The answer is 2, 3, 1. So the first thing that happened is the Philippines was under the America in the form of Commonwealth. Then the Commonwealth period was interrupted by World War II. Then Philippines was under the Japanese occupation. Which place in Calabarzon was named Special Science and Nature City of the Philippines? The answer is Los Baños. Special Science and Nature City of the Philippines, placed in Calabarzon, Los Baños. Filipinos are known to be thrifty, frugal, creative, and resourceful. They have the ability to do things that are next to impossible. They can fix appliances that seem to be beyond repair. What Filipino attitude is being referred to in this statement? Remedyo attitude. What is the rainfall carried by the wind and polluted air that poisons fish and destroys vegetation? The answer is acid rain. You like to compare two types of government which graphic organizers is most fit. Venn diagram. As geneticists, scientists have claimed to have found a common DNA ancestry with a woman who lived 200,000 years ago and left genes that are carried by all mankind, there is a profound message of a blank. The answer is ideological brotherhood. 56. The following are appointed by the President with the consent of Commission on Appointment except Associate Justices of the Supreme Court. The following are appointed by the President with the consent Commission on Appointment except so Apil ang Consul, head of the Executive Department, officers of the Armed Forces of the Philippines. 57, which was a highly controversial issue in 1973 Constitution. The answer is removing the presidential term limit. When a student tries to monitor and assess the steps and the processes he or she used to interpret a historical map in a worldly history class, he or she is actually using some metacognitive strategies. Which of the following statement is true about the law of supply? The answer is high price will encourage more production. If you call a friend from another country and say summers are usually hot and rainy in my part of the country, what then are you describing? Climate. In which continent is the highest elevation on Earth found? Asia. Asia ang highest eh. Oh my god. Which is referred to when a public official or employee is a member of a board, an office, or a substantial stockholder of a private corporation or owner or has a substantial interest in a business and the interest of such corporation of business has or his right or duties therein may be opposed to or affected by the faithful performance of official duty, public interest. Of the following cases which prove in Engel's theory or in Engel's theory that as income increases, the percentage of income of food decreases. In the case of a pet or petty who received a 20,000 raise in his salary, he used added income for mobile phone loads. What was the most significant factor that gave way to the emergence of the Renaissance? The answer is the revival of the interest on the Greco-Roman classical learning. When people go to other societies which are very different from there, they may lose familiar signs and symbols of social intercourse and experience some kind of unpleasant events. And what what are they experiencing? Culture shock. As a result of it, so when the Philippines became known worldwide for its people power revolution. You teach anthropological concepts together with biological concepts and sociological concepts with linguistic integrative. Schools provide pre-assessment tests to determine fitness of students in college for some course or in high school for learning sections. What type of evaluation this is this? Placement. Schools provide pre-assessment tests to determine fitness of students in college or for some courses or in high school for learning sections. What type of evaluation? Placement. For Herbert Spencer, there is no need to work for social change because for him, societies evolve naturally. What is movement of ocean water into offshore lines due to the gravity of the moon and the sun pulling the earth tide? Tama na, good night. God bless. It's morning. Have a good day. Gonna end it now. God bless always for all the let takers this March. Hope and pray that you will all pass. Good night. My phone, my laptop is hanging. I gonna show something. Hmm, Sleepy. Good night, everyone. From Precious.